Record of the Year is kind of one of the biggest awards they have out there, and somehow for me the best engineered album is still the one that I'm kind of gunning for. Obviously there's some really amazing projects in that category as well, but yeah, I mean, if you've been doing this as long as I have, to kind of have your name involved in that category is a really special and meaningful thing. This project with Victoria Monét, Jaguar 2, obviously having that be her debut album and getting this much attention is really a huge deal for everybody involved. But the project happened over a span of a couple of different years. We actually began the recording process, I think, right around spring of 2020. So as you can imagine, there were some complications with getting in a studio together and figuring out how to record things. And so it was kind of touch and go for a little while there. I think everybody was just kind of patient with figuring that stuff out, as everybody in the world kind of had to be. But once we kind of got through that and figured out how to work safely together, it was just a really amazing creative experience. There was a lot of amazing musicians involved in the project. Obviously D Mile, who's up for Producer of the Year, he executive produced the whole album. So it was just a really awesome thing to be a part of. She and I just really over the years have kind of just developed a good relationship for how to get the most out of the music. One of the approaches that I had to kind of tailor for her was that I'm really used to doing a lot of vocal production in the chair when I'm recording. And one of the things I realized with her early on was that I could really just step on the session if I was trying to give too many notes, because she knows exactly what she's going for most of the time. She's worked with so many different amazing artists. Like she's done a lot of vocal production and writing with Ariana Grande, for instance, and all these kind of different big time artists. One of those situations where you kind of have to learn to get out of your own way, and just kind of let Victoria be great at what she does, So we've developed a really good working relationship and kind of figured out what the right flow was for things, and I kind of figured out where I could help and where I needed to kind of just get out of the way, I know for a fact that it's been, in my arsenal for a very long time. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that I think when I first started engineering, I started working at Chalice back in 2011, I think, 2012 maybe was when I got my start. So as far back as I can remember, it's one of those tools that every veteran engineer uses. It's been an important part of my workflow since the beginning. I think I don't really know of another plugin that works quite as seamlessly and easily as it does. So yeah, I mean, it's been a part of my workflow pretty much since day one. And I use it on every session that I do vocals and sometimes, other instrument alignment and stuff as well. A project like Jaguar, you're looking at maybe 30, 40, 50 vocal stacks that you're trying to get to sound right together and make sure phase alignment is good and all the pronunciation things are happening at the same time. To have to go in and just do all the basic cut and chop and line everything up and then listen back and then crossfade everything to make sure there's no clicks and pops and things happening. It's a hugely time consuming effort. And so I think obviously anytime you're in the studio, time is of the essence, and time is money. So VocAlign just makes things happen quickly. The things that you have to have perfect, it makes them happen quickly and easily. And at some point, it's just something that you can just erase from your brain as being kind of a process that you have to worry about. So I think that's really an incredibly helpful tool. Well, I think one of the aspects of modern music is obviously the technology has allowed for different workflows that in the past didn't exist. You kind of always want to have the music playing. You always want to have people able to contribute their ideas and thoughts. So I think that's kind of where, again, VocAlign helps to just create a seamless transition from me doing my job to the work continuing, right? And so that's a huge thing, right? You just can't have, when people are trying to write, for instance, or trying to finish a record, start a record, whatever the process is that you're in, you just want to have that creativity be flowing as quickly as possible. And so just being able to flow through it, take after take after take, and aligning a double to the main take is just super useful, and it makes everything flow really quickly. But I think one mistake people can make is trying to have studio time and recording time being like the time to try out different things. And there are circumstances where that can make sense, where you're trying to find a vibe or trying to find a sound, but ultimately when you're recording people, I think it's important to just know your process, have your go-tos. And so it really comes down to knowing your toolbox and understanding it thoroughly. So, and then separate the time from, as an engineer, the creative exploration kind of sound design stuff that you want to understand and learn and develop, and your go-to tools that you're going to be able to execute consistently in a recording environment. There was some moment in the recording process where I can remember like thinking to myself, like, damn, these records are good. Like, there was nothing that could have prepared me for that happening, and I was just like in shock for a couple of days, So I mean, obviously very well deserved to Victoria and D-Mile, who are just consummate professionals and just incredible talents. But yeah, I mean, for me, I just felt like over the moon. I mean, I think for a project like this that I really put a lot of my time in over the years, it felt like a lot of validation, a lot of feel very blessed to be a part of the project. And I just feel like having one that is in this music category that to me is more of like an ode to R&B and an ode to the soul music. It's just one of these things that just feels amazing,